Hello and welcome to my latest video. Bit of a change today. What I thought I'd do is a little piece about economics, sort of cost of living, sort of prices of everything, I suppose, based on something that happened to me the other day. Now, you may know that I'm receiving treatment for prostate cancer at the moment. No, this isn't an alternative chocolate enema. And this is a galaxy ripple. And what does a galaxy ripple play in this particular story? Well, dear friends, listen up. I'm going to a hospital which is quite near London Bridge to have my treatment. And as you know, I'm quite partial to a galaxy ripple. And galaxy ripples that I normally buy in Tesco's, like Viz, are 65p, okay, 65p. And this video is being made in England. For my international audience, 65p is about 2/3 of a pound, roughly 2/3 of a euro, I suppose. What is it in terms of a peso? I have no idea. So I went to W.H. Smith at London Bridge because I was a little bit peckish and I fancied a galaxy ripple before my treatment. And I picked it up from the display, and I went to the self-checkout and I pressed it against the scanner thing, and the price came up £1.49. Now let's just let that sink in a moment. £1.49. So I put it back. I thought I ain't buying that. So then I went to Guy's Hospital, and there's a W.H. Smith at the Guy's Hospital site, and I looked in there and they had a galaxy ripple. Guess what? The price was £1.19. So here you have a range of prices going from 65p at one end to £1.49 at the other end. I then went to a big Tesco store and I saw that they had a packet of 4. Yes, folks, I needed 4 galaxy ripples. And this packet of 4 is £1.95, which works out at just slightly over, or is it slightly under, 49p each. Okay, you have to buy 4 in order to get them at that price. But that gives us a range of prices, which is 49p at one end of the spectrum and £1.49 at the other end of the spectrum. So what does this tell us? Well, first of all, I think we know that if you go to a train station or an airport or something like that, you are going to pay an inflated price. And if you don't know that, well, here am I to tell you. If you go to a train station or an airport or something like that, you are going to pay an inflated price for your goods. But did you think you would be paying 300% more for your single galaxy ripple at W.H. Smith at London Bridge Station than you could have bought it for if you'd bought 4 at Tesco's? Now, my friend Simon, who knows about these things, and I was talking to him on my bike ride today, he said, yeah, but come on, Julian, Tesco's buy in bulk, so they buy lots of galaxy ripples, they can sell them at a cheaper price. So I said, yeah, okay, I understand that, but are you telling me W.H. Smith doesn't buy them in bulk? So he said, well, okay, perhaps the recommended retail price of a galaxy ripple is £1.49 and Tesco's are selling them at a discount, perhaps at a loss leader. I don't know. But even so, a 300% difference in price. Now, we hear a lot about inflation, obviously. We hear a lot about the cost of living crisis, obviously. But I'm wondering how much of that cost of living crisis is not really down to foodstuffs actually increasing in price. Obviously they are, because of the impact of the Ukraine war, or difficulties of climate change and the increasing price of cocoa used in the production of galaxy ripples and so on and so forth. But how much of the cost of living crisis is actually down to shops, supermarkets, retail outlets inflating the price to a level that the consumer does not realise that they are paying? Now, I used to be in my, I suppose before I retired, I was reasonably well paid, I was reasonably well off, but I've always been one of these people who never really cared too much about the price of things. When they say people in the House of Commons don't know what the price of a pint of milk is. Well, I suppose I was one of those people. But due to a few things that have happened in my life, partly due to retiring and having less money, I've become much more focused on the price of things, and I'm much more aware of what I'm paying. And the single big example I want to give you is the price of petrol. Now, I never cared, you may be surprised at this, I never cared at the price of petrol. Partly because I saw it as how much in total you paid rather than how much you paid for an individual litre. So if I went to the petrol station, I'd fill up the car and it would come to 70 quid or 80 quid or 90 quid or whatever it was. And I never cared about the individual price per litre. Now I do. And I've noticed that, for example, I was on the motorway not so long ago, and I saw a price of petrol at £1.69p, whereas the price for petrol at my local Sainsbury's here in West Wickham is £1.49. Curious how that £1.49 crops up again. Anyway, the difference, if you haven't worked it out, is 20p. And if you put in 50 litres in your car, which you may well do if you're filling it up, or even filling it up 3/4 of the way, that is a difference in price of £10, okay? Because you decided, or you were either, you decided to buy the petrol on the motorway because you don't care about the price, or you are like I used to be and you didn't look at the individual price per litre. So one of the things that I do when I go around the shops now is I do what some people I know do, and that is that they compare the price per 100 grams. So you look along the shelves of the supermarket, you look at stuff and you see, well, the price of 100 grams is £4 and the price of this item per 100 grams is £3.50, so you can buy the cheaper one. Now you're going to say, oh, come on, Junior, for fuck's sake, man, people have been doing this for years. You can sound like one of those Tory MPs that said, oh, did you know you can get value stuff for cheaper? But no, this isn't about that. This is about, and this isn't a value item. This isn't about looking in the shops for cheaper items. This is about being aware of the price you are paying and where you are paying it. So if you don't have to go to WH Smith at London Bridge and buy a Galaxy Ripple, then don't go, because you are paying through the nose for it. And you're not only paying through the nose for it, you are going to pay £1.49 for it, whereas you could get it for Tesco's for 65p, or if you bought 4 of them, you could get them for £1.49. So, Julian's lesson on inflation and the cost of living and the economics through the medium of my old friend the Galaxy Ripple, which I will shortly eat in a particularly disgusting and filthy way, but I will not film it because you've seen me do that to an enema in my last video and it was not a pleasant sight. Thus endeth the lesson. I have been Martin Lewis for the day. I hope you've enjoyed this video. You may even have learnt something. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, probably with a Galaxy Ripple in my hand.